Hey everybody, welcome to another review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a brick building set called Grinch and the Fireplace, made by the company Brickcraft. This set comes with a total of 591 pieces and is recommended for ages 8 and up. We're going to kick off this review by taking a look at the top of the mantle, starting with the picture of Cindy Lou, which is attached to the mantle via this clip. The picture is very easy to remove, and thanks to that clip it's securely in place when it's on display. One thing that I have to praise Brickcraft for when building this set is that there are no sticker pieces. What you're seeing here is a print, and a pretty darn good one at that. On the left side of the mantle, there's another photo of Cindy Lou and her parents. It is also attached to the mantle via a clip. And the other thing that I want to mention is the overall look and design of the picture frames. It looks really good in that shiny gold color. And again, I do feel like the printed quality of these pieces is rather good. You'll have to let me know what you think of these printed pictures in the comments below. The other details on the mantle include a brick-built wreath and a little candle. And I do appreciate how everything is tiled off when all the decorations are in place. Right in the middle of the mantle are two printed pieces. When put together say Merry Grinchmas. There is also some very simple but effective stocking builds found on each side of the fireplace. And I do like the variety in color in the stockings instead of them all just being one color. It gives it some good variety and just makes it a little bit more fun. In the middle of the fireplace you can see a brick-built Grinch that is upside down as he comes through the chimney. I don't dislike the overall look and design of this build, but I do feel like the longer you look at it, the more awkward it looks. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't think it's a bad build by any means. And again, I will continue to praise Brickcraft for having those printed pieces to represent the Grinch's eyes. The Grinch actually does come with a little bit of articulation in the finger. They're on hinges, so you are able to move them up and down. I wouldn't really consider this a play feature, but it is worth noting as there is a little posability to the Grinch. And I'd be very curious to hear what you have to say about this brick-built Grinch in the comments below. My least favorite part about the set has to be the detail that's actually inside the fireplace. There is some transparent orange pieces inside to represent fire, but there definitely needs to be a couple of flame pieces to really give it that fiery effect. On the left side of the build, you're going to find the Grinch's sidekick Max and a couple of presents. And while Max does look a little awkward, he does have some articulation in his neck, so you are able to rotate the head side to side. And as we turn him around to the side here, you can see that his tail is on a ball joint, which allows for some articulation as well. And I don't dislike the build for Max by any means. He does look a little awkward and cartoony, which I assume is the look that Brickcraft was going for. In front of the fireplace, you're going to find a green and red rug and a very simple but effective train build. Continuing along, there is a tricycle with a present behind it, and of course you cannot have a Grinch Christmas set without a Christmas tree, which I think looks pretty good. The last thing I want to mention is the instructions for this set are pretty high quality. They're very similar in design and pacing to that of a Lego set, so if you're an avid Lego builder, you're going to feel right at home. I picked up this set at Walmart a month and a half ago for I think $20 or $25, and for a 591 piece set, I do feel like it has a lot of really cute build and charm to it. And if you're a fan of the Grinch and you want to spend some time doing some brick building holiday sets, this is a good one to pick up. Thank you so much for watching my review, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more brick built reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to another review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Grinch wreath made by the company Brickcraft. This set comes with a total of 523 pieces and is recommended for ages 8 and up. And we're going to start by taking a look at the top of the wreath, which has this really nice, simple, and charming bow design. And if we take a look towards the left and right of the bow, you're going to find two printed pieces that have Max the dog and Cindy Lou on them. The rest of the detail found in this area I think looks really great as well. There's two cherry pieces beside the bow, and I think the colored spheres and silver stars do a good job breaking up the overall green consistency of the build. And I'm happy to report that as we make our way down the sides of the wreath, you can see that there's a good variety of pieces used. This helps keep the build interesting and makes it a fun piece to look at. Not only is there a good variety of pieces used, but as we continue down, you can also see there's some good color found throughout the build as well. I do think that the overall design for the Grinch is done relatively well. I do like the detail of this black claw piece here for the eyebrow. There is some dark green that is found right here that I do feel like looks a little out of place and awkward. But other than that, I think it's a pretty great looking build. I do like the overall shape and depth of the white pieces found on the Grinch's hat. The eyes of the Grinch are on a printed piece, which I have to praise Brickcraft for, as this set doesn't come with any stickers. And I do like the candy canes that are found in the hands of the Grinch. I think it's a good detail and fits the overall build design very well. Towards the very bottom of the build, you're going to find more printed pieces that say Merry Grinchmas, and the Grinch is rocking a red and white scarf that actually helps support the build when it's standing upright. Speaking of supporting the build, if we take the wreath and we turn it around here, you can see that Brickcraft actually implemented a stand for this set, which has a relatively simple design, but it does help keep this set in an upright position if you wanted to display it on a kitchen counter or tabletop. Here's what the back of the set looks like, and you're definitely going to want to display it from the front. There is also a small silver string that is found on top of the red bow, and that is so you can hang your wreath on a door or wall for a little bit of extra festive fun. And I gotta say, I think it looks pretty cool hanging up. I picked up the Grinch wreath made by Brickcraft at my local Walmart for $25. And I gotta say, I think that's a pretty fair value for what you're getting, as it's a pretty good looking build. If you're a fan of the Grinch and want a fun festive build, I would recommend picking it up. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more brick built reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to another review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at 3 Brickcraft sets. These are 3 officially licensed products inspired by Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, and they feature Max the dog, the Grinch himself, and Cindy Lou in brick-built Christmas ornaments. And we're going to kick things off by taking a look at the Grinch decoration, which comes with 141 pieces and is recommended for ages 8 and up. And I think that Brickcraft did a rather solid job designing this Grinch-inspired decoration. The Grinch is rocking his Santa hat, which is a pretty simple build, but I do think it looks great. I do like the design of the white brim, as I feel like it's very dynamic looking and has a lot of depth to it. There's also a black claw piece above the Grinch's eye meant to represent his eyebrow, which I think is a nice touch and looks pretty good. Speaking of the Grinch's eyes, they are prints, as this set doesn't come with any stickers. And if we look towards the bottom of the build near the scarf, you can also see a printed Grinch tile, which is a nice little touch as well. A neat inclusion that Brickcraft has implemented into the design of these ornaments is that all 3 of them come with some kind of display stand. There are these 2 light gray Technic axle rods that you can pull out, and then you can place the Grinch on a tabletop and display him this way as well. And I don't think this looks necessarily bad. I do like the inclusion of having the scarf be the 3rd point of the stand, just to give it that little bit of extra support. It's a good design choice. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at the Max decoration, which comes with 135 pieces and is recommended for ages 8 and up. Out of the 3 Christmas decorations we're taking a look at, Max is unfortunately my least favorite. I'm just not a big fan of its design. I don't really feel like it looks like the character it's trying to represent, and I find it to be a very strange design choice that they use transparent orange for the antler on top of Max's head. Just like with the Grinch ornament, this set doesn't come with any stickers, so the eyes of Max are printed on, which is a nice detail, and you can also see that small tile found in the bottom of the build that has the Grinch logo on it. The Max decoration also comes with a display stand. If we take the ornament and turn it around to the side here and pull it back, you can see that it's going to sit on top of the table nicely. I personally prefer this stand design as opposed to the one that was on the Grinch, as I feel like it gives the build a lot more stability on a tabletop. The last ornament we're going to be taking a look at is called the Cindy Lou decoration, and it comes with 121 pieces and is recommended for ages 8 and up. And this ornament is probably my favorite. I do like its overall look and design. I think the bow on top of her head has a really nice design, and I love the transparent red pieces they used. And again, these sets don't come with any stickers, so all of the detail you see on the build is actually a print. And surprisingly, the eyes and nose for Cindy Lou are their own separate pieces that you actually stick onto the faceplate. And just like with the previous 2 ornaments we took a look at, you can see a printed Grinch logo found at the bottom of the build. Cindy Lou also comes with the same stand design that Max had, but I will say I do like the inclusion of making part of the base pink, as it kind of matches the overall aesthetic of the build. All you have to do is pull the stand back and you can place it down on a tabletop. And again, I feel like this looks pretty good if you want to display them on a tabletop or counter instead of hanging them on a tree. Speaking of hanging them on the tree, I'm sure you've noticed that all 3 of these ornaments come with strings attached to the top of the builds. And that is, of course, you can hang them on a Christmas tree. I will say I am a little surprised by how great these look. I was worried with how heavy the builds were that they would not be able to fit under the tree properly and they'd kind of sag down. But I'm happy to say I think they look relatively good. I bought all 3 of these ornaments at my local Walmart for $12 each. And I do feel like that is a fair price considering you can buy a regular ornament for about that same price. And I do think that building these with your friends or family would make for a fun experience. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more brick built reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to another review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a set called Up the Chimney Grinch. This is an officially licensed product made by the company Brickcraft. This set comes with a total of 504 pieces and is recommended for ages 8 and up. And we're going to start by taking a look at the head design for the Grinch. And while not perfect, I do feel like it is a fairly decent build. My favorite part about the design here is the depth that is included in the Grinch's face. You can see that the eyes are sunken in a bit, and I think it's a really good detail and just adds to the overall aesthetic of the build in a positive way. This set doesn't come with any stickers, so the eyes on the Grinch are prints, which is a nice detail. One of the parts that I don't like about this build is the dark green that is near the Grinch's cheeks. It just looks a little out of place, and I think it would have looked better as lime green. I do think that the Santa hat on top of the Grinch's head has a relatively strong design. There are a couple of hinges here, so you are able to move the hat around and put it in different poses. And while this is a nice inclusion, I'm not really sure the purpose of it, as I feel like if you have it displayed any other way than it's supposed to be, it can look a little weird and awkward. But I suppose it is a nice inclusion, I guess. Taking a look at the Grinch as a whole, you can see that he is holding a brick-built present. I do like the overall look and design of this part of the build, and I think its design is implemented well. And like I said earlier, while I do think the design of the Grinch is done relatively well, if we take the build and start to spin it to the side, you can see that the Grinch's proportions are a little awkward looking. For example, I feel like his neck is just a little too long, and I do feel like his overall body shape and design could have been implemented just a little bit better. But I will say having the present in front of the Grinch definitely helps with this design flaw, as you're typically not going to be looking at the build from this side anyway. The right arm of the Grinch does have a little bit of range of motion. You can raise it up. You have to be very careful though with the way you pose this build, because if you don't raise it up just high enough, you can see that it is going to slowly start to lower down due to the weight of the arm. It's not impossible to raise this arm all the way up and keep it in place, but it is a little bit of a minor inconvenience that it may take you a couple tries to get it just right. The wrist and fingers of the Grinch also have a little bit of articulation in them. This posability is nice as it helps get the Grinch in the position he needs to be in for displayability. Another thing that I think is worth noting is the right arm of the Grinch is the only one that can raise up and down, as the left arm is completely stationary but the hand is able to move. The last part of this build that I want to highlight is the chimney, which I think is a pretty strong design and makes for an excellent base for this build. I love how the bottom of it is white to complement the snow that is found on top. This set retails for $30 on the Brickcraft website, and for a set with over 500 pieces, I don't necessarily think it's horrible, but I personally would have liked to have seen this set be around $25. But it does make for a good holiday build, and thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more brick build reviews.